everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we will be learning how to make moin-moin using the foil wrap. I will attach the link to that video ahead at the right hand side of this video. I want us to enjoy and learn, and in the description box I would also put the ingredients that I made use of in this video. Let's get right into it. So I'm adding my beans in my blender cup. I have the onions, the pepper, the bell pepper, and the habanero pepper. The ginger is here, the ginger. And you notice that I added water. You want to add enough water for it to blend, not so much, a little bit like over the beans, just a little bit over the beans. It must not be so watery, though you want it to be liquid, but it must not be too watery. So you make sure that it's well blended. So I use the medium speed on this blender. You can decide to use the high speed, but you have to be very careful, and you have to make sure that your beans is soft before you start blending, because it could spoil your blender. But in case you're using the Ninja blenders, those kind of blender can withstand so much toughness of a vegetable or what's it called, of beans. Yes, it can withstand that toughness. So you have to be very careful you have to be very careful in terms of the kind of blender you're using. So I made sure that it's well blended, and when I mean well blended, it is smooth. I'm sorry for this partial visual. See, I did my hands and I decided to see, is it very soft? And you can see, for me, I felt like it's already smooth. For me, rather, not soft. It's already smooth for what I want it to give me, for the moin-moin I want to make. So you have to make sure it's well smooth. It doesn't have any rough edges, so any rough patterns. When you press it, it has to be smooth on your hand. And also, again, I'm going through the same process. And yeah, I added my garlic. The other time I added my ginger. This is my bell pepper, my habanero, the onions. Then some water. You have to make sure water is there. You can see I didn't add so much water, but I made sure it's a little bit above the beans. That's what I did, because that's the most important thing. Your water has to be consistent, a little bit, like not so much. You don't want a very watery moin-moin and it will not even give you, it will give you a different result if it's so watery. And you can see I'm touching it again just to be sure, just to make sure it's well blended. I am only making sure it's well blended, and you can see that's the result we want to get. And you can see I'm touching it like, am I sure? Am I not? I'm going back again. And so the ingredient that I'm adding inside, the egg, the fish, the vegetable oil, and yeah, you have to make sure that after blending you mix your beans so well. My oil, make sure it's well mixed, well mixed, well mixed, well mixed. Like that is very, 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 very important. You have to make sure your beans is well mixed. I think it's like my mom would say, more air inside, just like mixing cake batter, because you want more air for it to soften up, for it to be well mixed, and it even enhances the texture you get inside your moi moi. A moi moi that is well mixed, it gives a different texture, basically. Yeah, my seasonings. I use the two types of maji. There is a maji that has more salt, the bouillon, and I use ordinary no. No has very lesser salt. No has very lesser salt. So if you don't want to eat salt at all, just use ordinary no. The chicken no, and you don't have salt, like excessive salt in it. But the other powder one that I pour was add more salt in it. So I always kind of blend it up with my salt. So I try to measure the consistency. And this is the Moin-Moin wraps that I taught us in my previous video. Here is it, and that is what I'm using in this video. Hey, I'm so sorry. I forgot to actually get the video of the time that I put it inside the pot, because as I was wrapping the Moin-Moin. After putting it inside the foil, I was putting it inside a pot that already had water. So I faced it up. So after I was done, I covered it to boil for 40 minutes. It cooked for 30 minutes. Important, it cooks for 40 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the end result. Thank you.